I think questioning is a very valuable tool. It helps to gauge quickly where my students' knowledge is, what level they're at, how I can guide them into higher levels of their knowledge thinking. I use questioning as a tool in this particular activity to guide them from what they're seeing and observing into what they saw happening, and into guiding that into their being able to explain what they were seeing.
What do I call that?
Non-magnetic.
Non-magnetic, okay? So you're going to put all the things that are magnetic in the magnetic column. If you look on the bottom of your paper, you'll see a column that says magnetic. Now guys, if you don't know how to say one of these words, or you don't know what it's called, could you draw a picture of it?
When I ask them more procedural questions, I really want to know that they understand what they're doing, that all the members in the group are participating, and that they all have some levels of understanding, and that they know where they're going next. So whenever I ask them those higher level questions, I want to make sure that they're understanding what they're seeing with what they're doing, and that they're able to make those connections. I think it's very important, especially in some of my lower level classrooms, to make sure that they're making those connections, and that they're not just using this and seeing it and forgetting it immediately. When you get them to explain their thinking, they really internalize it more.
Now, how might you find the things that are non-magnetic? What tool might you have to use?
Your hands.
Are our hands a tool? Can they be?
Yes.
Absolutely. Can we use our hands as a tool? Sure. So you can dig in the sand and find the things that are non-magnetic with your hands.
When I do the explore and explain piece together, I think that really it helps to sink in that knowledge as they're doing it, as they're feeling it, as they're touching it, and as they're seeing what's happening. If you do those two pieces together, they can really solidify that knowledge. So after we've done the explore, I like to bring them into the explain piece. In the lab, this happened a little quicker than it might in a classroom, but that way you're giving them the words. So first they're seeing what they're doing, they're coming up with their own level of knowledge in those areas, and then we're telling them what those words are. So they might see magnets attract to each other, but not know what to call that yet. So then we can give them the word attract or repel.
These little things, do we remember what these little things are called? Gram stackers. Good. Gram weights, gram stackers. Absolutely. So we're going to measure in grams. Do I start with the littlest or the biggest first? Biggest, right? We see as much as we can first, and then if that's too much, we take it out and we go to a next size, right?
During the lab activity, I try to make sure that I'm gauging what they're doing, that they are starting to understand, that I'm leveling them up, going from what they're seeing to what they're knowing to what they're understanding. And at the end, I really want to come back together and make sure that all the groups have now come to the right conclusions by again asking them more questions, getting them to ask me questions, and by that leading them into a better discussion and coming to their own conclusions.
Temperature. What tool do I use to measure temperature? A thermometer. Do I use Fahrenheit or Celsius in science? Ooh, all right. Celsius for science. So make sure you're looking at the C side, okay? Make sure you're looking at the C side. You're going to take the temperature of 4 things. The air. How do I take the temperature of the air?
No, the water.
How do I take the temperature of the air? Ferris? Just got to hold it up. What part is taking the temperature on my thermometer? Which part of it?
The bottom.
Macy?
The bottom.
The bottom round part, right? So whatever that's touching is what I'm taking the temperature of. So right now I'm taking the temperature of the air. Absolutely.
So I try to use quality questioning to help them synthesize what they were doing into their understanding of the concept of what they were learning. So quality questioning I thought was also important, that not only I got better at it, but I saw my students got better at asking me questions, which helped me to guide them through more questions into really having a good, deep understanding of their thinking.